Okay. I feel like my topics just jump around, but we'll go to the next. There's an STD epidemic apparently. Did you hear about that? Like
No,
you haven't heard about it? Apparently it's bad. Like it's bad in these streets. Thank God we out, but it's bad in these streets. Like apparently like gonorrhea, like chlamydia, all these things are.
not a STD, not a STD.
Oh, that's what they listed.
Those are STIs.
Well, I think it's
It's
people
not the
still
same thing.
okay, but so what's the epidemic then? Is it just STDs or is it STIs too?
You tell me.
STD epidemic. And look, the CDC even got involved. Like, there's like, it's bad. But look, they see that's STD, but then they say gonorrhea, syphilis. Oh, okay, chlamydia drop. Gonorrhea and syphilis. But oh, they're saying people are not getting screening. That's why it dropped. But they considering those STDs. But yeah, you're right. There is a difference, but I think people still consider it. They still all put under the same umbrella. But it's you see, this is a CDC. This is literally an epidemic. And I think for me, my main thing I wanted to bring up with this is like I don't understand. Like, what are people's? What do you think people's like? What's the word? Reluctancy is with going to the doctor. Like, do you think it's a combination of fear and laziness?
I remember crazy scorching hot take. I think it's mostly women's fault.
Women are the drivers of this epidemic.
I don't know, but I'm going to say that they are because I am not. Let me say this before I get kicked off the platform. I'm not a doctor. No way have any medical experience. And my opinions are not based off medical fact. This is just all pure opinion that's coming. So don't kill me for it. But in my opinion, I think that, and I believe that doctors would say this is true. I think that when women have STIs and STDs, I think that um, their what's the word, symptoms
Yeah.
don't impact them in the same way that they impact men. And I also think that women in general have general health symptoms from things that are not related to STDs and STIs that would be similar to STDs and STIs
That's true.
that would not necessarily blatantly indicate to them that they have an STD or STI, but they might think that it's just a UTI or something else like that.
Yeah, because I read on us do just so much random stuff.
Whereas men don't get UTIs. So if you're burning,
Yeah.
then you got something. And I think
Yeah,
that
that's a good point.
I think that there's a lot of sleeper women out there that are burning a ton of men because they won't go get checked out and they're just quietly passing things like chlamydia to mad different men and they're asymptomatic, so they're not even showing. And then
That's true.
20 years down or 10 years down the line when they're trying to have a kid, they realize that they're infertile because they had a disease burning inside of them, killing their reproductive organs for
That's
10 years.
crazy. Mm-hmm.
And that's why there's a lot of women that can't reproduce. And that's just my hot take, scorching opinion with no medical background.
No, I think that's true. Like I honestly think that I think there are like a portion of men that pass it.
Hey, yo, let me tell you something. If you as a man...
I think they purposely pass it too. Some of them are like crazy, but I feel like why would you do that? But
Yo, as a man, if you're burning and you have weird creams coming out of you and you're sitting around with that for weeks and months,
yeah, you're just weird.
you're crazy,
Yeah.
bro. That's psycho. That's craziness.
Yeah, you're right. I think it definitely is women then because like you
It
said,
has to
like
be.
women usually, and this is something that I feel like we gotta like maybe try to understand more. Like I wonder why women have less, like have no symptoms. Like I wonder. No, I really wonder why. Like,
I think that they, but I'm saying I think that they
but
probably
they
do.
probably do, but they
But they're
like,
just like,
oh, I got another ETI or I got another.
Yeah.
What if people getting bacterial vagin?
yeah, I just got to wash. I got a yeast infection today.
Because a lot of girls, like we talked about this before, a lot of girls do some
grimy.
stupid, weird stuff to to themselves, like douching, summer's eve. Like, why are you using all these things? Like pH balance be so out of whack.
Hand soap.
Yeah, like you guys are girls be doing all these things because they want to taste and smell like roses and peanut butter and
Peanut
caramel
butter?
so bad.
Who want to taste like, smell like peanut butter? Who said that?
I'm just saying, they want to do all this stuff like. Meanwhile, men just like the smell of your pheromones. That's why we have natural scent that you're trying to cover, and that's why your pH is destroyed. And that's why I'm like BV. Like I'm not trying to shame women, but like what is going on? Why people got all these nasty things happening to themselves? Like I never had that in my life. BV bacteria.
You're women shaming.
No, but realistically, It's called accountability. Like, what do you? Nobody should be using summer's leave at all. You don't need to wash. Well, you need to wash it, but you don't need to be putting stuff in it. Like, you don't need to be douching it. Like, what are you trying to? What are you?
What you trying to get out of
People
there?
be doing all these weird stuff for men. Like, that's the end of the day. They do it for men. They don't want to admit that. Like, why are you trying to? Like, it doesn't. Our vaginas don't taste or smell like roses. They taste and smell like vaginas, and that's what men like. They like pheromones. Like, it's subconscious. It's conscious. They be doing all this weird stuff too. And that's why they be going. They be going through it.
Meanwhile, the man's in the group chat clowning her for smelling nuts.
Because they usually
because that's happened before.
And like as a woman, like who lives with other women, like obviously in college, like that's my first experience living with other women. I'm like, it stinks. I'm like, what are you using? And you look in the shower, it's like, oh, you got that summer leave in here. That's why your pH is off. And the room stinks. Like, why? I shouldn't come back in the room stink.
Like sardines.
Like, I only live with 6 women, so if any of them are watching, we do process elimination. It's not the last 4. Anyway, yes, so I definitely agree that women definitely carry symptoms. They think, oh, I got a UTI again. Let me just scratch it and go drink my cranberry juice. I'm really people. If we were famous, we would get canceled. But so yeah. But men, you're like, oh nah, like it's happening. So then you guys obviously
flames is spitting out.
Yeah. So women are definitely the passer around, and it's actually that's crazy.
Never mind. I just know things. I'm not even gonna get into as much detail as you did, but I just know there's one person specifically that I know has taken down quite a few people.
I know somebody from my high school that did, who also went to our college. The girl we talked about in the other podcast, I think about the train in the forest. Yeah, her.
Yeah.
She's is a huge culprit.
Yeah, the super spreader.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
And I just don't personally don't understand what, like, cause they're saying the CDC is advising like get screened. Like, we're in relationships, and even in a relationship, I feel like you should still get tested. Like, I literally get an STD test every year at my gynecologist. Like,
you don't trust me?
I trust you, but it's a part of the screening. Like, it's they do the pap smear every 3 years or whatever. They do the STD test. She does my breast examination, touches, looking for lumps. It's the same thing. So it's like, I just do it because it's a part of it. No, it's a part of the. Is it part? If you're sexually active, they say, "Are you sexually active?" I'm like, "Yep." They're like, all right, here's the CDC test. Like, they're gonna give it to you if you're at the gynecologist.
Asking God, wow.
No, but I'm saying people in relationships should, like, even if you trust your partner, I feel like you just never know. Like, life is so crazy. What? You should, like, and people are just weird. I don't get it. I don't get why, especially if you're in the streets and you're single. Oh, our mics. I don't know if they heard that, but especially because our mics got disconnected.
It's just everyone.
Especially if you're in these streets and you're single, there's actually no reason that you shouldn't, after every partner, go get a test. Like, I feel like it really should be after every partner, unless you guys. Well, yeah, honestly, it should be after every partner, unless you're using a condom. But even then,
I get it, but like I get why people wouldn't. But like, y'all,
it's kind of max. Like, if you out here and like wilding and enjoying your youth, like people say this apparently sleeping around is enjoying your youth. If you're doing all that, then
y'all playing Russian roulette. Because I get it. Like, let's say you have, because this is one of the things that adult film stars say about the testing thing. Because they're probably because people clown them. Oh, they probably got all these blah blah blah.
No, they literally have to test. Like,
they're the cleanest people probably when it comes to.
They test like after every scene or something, right?
Before
and after.
So, as crazy as it is, y'all shouldn't be playing. Because first of all, this is real shit. Like, I don't think people really think about these things. For one, it's evident because of the way these unplanned pregnancies pop up and with a bunch of randoms, and now you're gonna have your kid like growing up in a single family household.
You're getting came in by a random or somebody that you want to have a kid with. Like, what is happening? And I'm not just criticizing women, but as a man, why are you dumping it into random?
And it's not that good. It's not. Just like, seriously, like,
people really act like they're like hypnotized, like they're under, like they can't control it. Like,
no, you can think clearly, bro. Like let's not be stupid.
Just spit on the condom or just pull out whatever.
That's not that deep.
It's really not. But, and now you got Fiona from Shrek pregnant.
Fiona.
Yeah, Fiona from Shrek pregnant. You got an ogre pregnant, and the baby comes out with 11 toes because
Huh?
she's
Your cousin?
no.
I don't know.
I'm
what
saying
you're
like men will just dump into any woman. I'm saying now you got like the Fiona, like some ogre looking girl pregnant, and the baby comes out like deformed because
what does that have to
because
do
her
with
health
anything?
isn't.
Shut up, Joe. Shut up. Shut up. You're done. For me, like, you should
Hat is a little
probably
tight.
do that because, like, if you're out in these streets, right, and you get with a random, that random probably you're not probably not the only person that random's been with.
Especially
So,
if you're able to get that easily.
So
You already know
imagine-
who she is now.
like, imagine you and random A mess around, and then random A hooks up with random B, and then random A comes back to you, and then goes over to random C, and now you got like you're connected to now all these other people because random C and random B messed around with X amount of people, and that's why I remember there was somebody that like made their own like organization chart, like
I think I remember that.
and it was like, or like it was somewhere somebody made some chart where like it basically estimated how many bodies you technically would have been exposed to by having sex with like 3 people or something like that, and it was something like 30, 40, 50, something.
Isn't that actually really crazy?
Some crazy number.
That's why it's like
Y'all playing Russian roulette, like it's pretty.
like people can say whatever they want about like what they feel like is a way to enjoy your life. I'm good on my little my little calm life that I've had. Like I'm good on that. I don't think I've missed anything. What the possibility of getting HIV? Like yeah.
Well, you missed out, but
I missed out on what? I missed out on nothing.
you missed out on the Russian roulette.
Yeah, that
You
don't
never,
sound fun.
You never know.
Missed out on unenjoyable.
Where you gotta wait 3 days to see if it
Yeah,
starts
no,
hitting.
that don't sound fun. People who say this life is fun, yeah, okay. If that's what your definition of fun, I think my definition of fun is being with one person who knows what they're doing and knows your body, and you have locations all over this planet. That's fun. But you guys have sex in
Russian roulette is
basements.
more fun. You wait 3 days.
I was in Dubai. You guys was in basements.
You sitting there like this,
So.
waiting for 3 days.
Nah,
You wake up on the 4th day in the morning.
that's
and
more
you're
of a flex. That's more of a flex. I could look at the map and be like, we was here, and I got my backbone out all these places. Like all you guys got is alleyways and basements.
I'm gonna clip this and send it to your mom.
Oh yeah, she'll be like, Dubai. Oh, so that's what you guys were doing. What do you think I was doing? It's my birthday. I think I was doing.
So, to me, I know it's crazy, but like y'all, wow. Like if that doesn't scare you, like the concept of you being tied to somebody else financially for 18 years, or you like brought an actual human that you should care about, or
And tied to whatever that person might have. You don't know this person. You don't know their family history, health. Now you got to take care of a baby who might have deformities because of their family history, and now you had to pay for that too.
and then
Medical bills.
whatever potential STDs and STIs, which can still kill you or make you infertile. God forbid it's something like HIV or well, you can't really
Something you
transmit
can't
it.
heal or cure.
Herpes. Like herpes is one of the most common diseases you could get, and people. And you know what the crazy thing about stuff like herpes is that somebody could have it, not know, give it to somebody else, and they won't know either because it's like it could be so asymptomatic. It's almost like nothing. Because I think 1 in 3 people have it.
That's crazy.
And then you could pass it to somebody else that's asymptomatic, but then you pass it to somebody else that actually shows symptoms.
Yeah.
And then
But they don't even know who they got it from because it's been passed around.
and now you got to find somebody else that is
And
symptomatic.
herpes is lifetime, right?
You can't get rid of it
That's
no matter what.
crazy. 'Cause I remember, like, I don't know if it's happened in your childhood, but I remember, like, in middle school and high school, people always be like, "Oh, so and so has herpes." Like, but was that just a joke or was it real? Like,
So sometimes it was, but other times it was like
they just had a pimple.
they had a cold sore.
Yeah,
And cold sores aren't necessarily indicative of herpes, but it could be.
yeah.
And not
I
only
do
that-
remember seeing people having weird lumps on their lips. I used to be like, "Ooh."
And I don't know if herpes is transmitted genetically. I think it could be.
It could be.
Syphilis definitely is. And I think gonorrhea is as well.
That's something I forgot about. You could pass that stuff down to your kids.
But imagine you had a kid and now your kid got herpes just
Yeah,
because
because you
wanted to be a nasty man.
for 5-minute sessions. I know you know these people's sessions be like 5 minutes. You got a lifetime disease for a 5-minute session.
The only leeway I'll give is herpes you could get just from kissing. So it's not even like necessarily sexual thing.
Yeah.
And some of them aren't either. Like you could get chlamydia in the throat
What do you mean from kissing?
from kissing or oral sex.
What do you mean it's in your throat?
It's in your throat.
Like the disease is living in your throat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Usually it only ends up in your lower regions because that's
Yeah.
where you have sex, but it could be anywhere. Like you have gonorrhea in your mouth.
That's why I
But
never knew
people
that.
don't know these things.
Yeah, because obviously
I do listen. I do my research. Like I have so many random facts because it's like you should know these.
you
things.
should know these things. Like it shouldn't even be like taboo. Like,
Yeah, like I've gotten tested 100 million times, and it's just crazy to me because I don't trust anybody that much. Like especially like that the part about the kid thing too, because I was a young man at one point. So even the disease thing, you're like, yeah, whatever, I'll take the chance. But the kid thing is like you shouldn't even be
the kid thing
laying.
is wild.
You shouldn't be laying with a woman that you couldn't imagine, unprotected at least. You shouldn't be laying with a woman unprotected that you wouldn't want to raise a kid with. That to me is so crazy. Because all it takes is for her to say, I'm having the baby, and that's it for you forever. Like, legally in the court, they're going to find you or put you, like,
you
and
can't
you're
hide.
pay, or they're going to put you in jail, and you still have to pay.
Yeah.
And they're going to garnish your wages, and you're going to have, the government's going to speak to your employer, take money specifically out of your check if you don't want to pay it to them directly. And that's what's going to be known. Like, your HR department, your boss might know that they're taking child support out your check because you don't want to pay.
You don't want to pay.
Like, that's crazy to me.
And women need to take accountability too. Like,
women should take the most accountability.
Yeah, because I mean, I hate the argument of like, oh, like that we shouldn't, but birth control is free. Most people is covered.
I'm only saying that because women, unfortunately, I mean, you should take it as a compliment. But
women
you're
should
held
be
to a higher standard. So
and not even that, but as a woman, you're the one who actually has to carry that baby. Your life is the one at risk. You're the one who actually has to give birth. Like, you're the one who actually has to go through it. Like, as a man, you might get a girl pregnant. You're like, oh, God, I got to pay. But as a woman, you actually have to push that out of you. Like,
and you know,
so why would you not be more sacred of your womb? Like, okay, this man might not take a condom or this condom might break. So I'm not going to, like, yeah, men should have responsibility too. But as a woman, I'm going to protect myself and my womb and take these birth control pills and just have an extra layer of protection.
The other thing, too, I think that the uptick in it is, I know for a fact it's going to get disgusting with these younger kids and already has.
Because of social media?
They're just exposed to so much more. Like, and I know the whole, I think the desensitization of sex and stuff like that is going to just make it a crazy.
Because we had like porn websites, right?
Yeah, but they got it different. They got it.
Different level. Like, you might be on Reddit, you might be on Twitter, and you see stuff like.
And the way other people talk about it online, it's like, I think these kids are going to get filthy.
TikTok trends, like, they think it's cute and cool. Like, we wasn't even thinking about any of that stuff. Probably to like maybe 8th grade, 7th grade. There's
nothing wrong. I'm not gonna say there's nothing wrong with it. You know, do what you do, but with that is gonna come that type of stuff that they're not going to take into account.
Yeah, and the scary thing is these kids could be young doing certain stuff and then not even realizing the risk. Because all it takes as a woman to get pregnant is for you to have your period. And girls have be having periods at 11, 10, 9. I had my period at 17. I was a late bloomer. But some of these girls be having periods that young. So if they're doing anything sexual, which a lot of girls, you know, you hear about a lot of stories. People was having sex when they were like 12, 13, which is crazy to me. Like, I'm like 13. When people be like saying certain age, like most people I hear is like 16. Like, okay, you're normal. But I've been hearing people who are like 13, 12. Like, you're a victim. Like, what was happening in your household that you were exposed to like that type of stuff that young? But it's gonna get bad, and I'm just like, I'm happy to be out the streets. Like, every day I'm like, thank God.
Yeah, y'all crazy.
Because this is nasty out there. Like, and that's like my main thing I want to get across to people. Like, just go to the doctor. Like, if you're out in the streets, go frequently.
Go back
maybe
inside.
not every partner. You know, if you don't want to be that.
No,
if you're out in these streets, but maybe once a month, depending on how active you are. Like, if you, because some guys out here be nasty. Like, I don't know if nasty is the right word. Cause people gonna get mad. Like, oh, sexual liberation. But if you having sex with like 10 people a month or something, you need to go after each partner.
But you should do it anyway, like real shit. Like,
if you're single, yeah. Even if you have like a sneaky link that you have a consistent partner, you don't know what they're with because that's not your man.
I know how annoying that could be, but realistically, you have somebody that you don't know. You don't know what they're doing. They don't know what you're doing, so anything could be happening at any point, and it's like.
And some people have malicious intent too. Like, some people have HIV and spread it because they're mad that they have it.
Yeah, and that's happened, and that's the thing. Like, that part. Or like people that have herpes, and they don't want to tell like they're not going to say anything because they would never be able to get anybody.
Yeah, they're embarrassed.
So they're just going to do it anyway, and they're just not. They don't have a flare up that day, so you're not going to be able to tell. But like, yeah, just go frequently. because this stuff could kill you. Like that's the only thing. If that,
It really could. The most
if nothing
severe
else,
example.
don't end up with AIDS and you drop to be 70 pounds and then you die looking like a skeleton and your family got to see you looking nuts in a casket.
Yeah.
If anything, like at least do it for that.
Yep. Yep. And I think that's the main thing CDC trying to get across is get your checkups. Like it's really not that hard. Like I know you guys are grown men and grown women that are scared to, cause mommy and daddy can't call the the doctors for you to set the appointment. But grow up. Most of like trust me, I hate talking on the phone. It's 2022. Most of these things you could set appointments online. Like I haven't called a doctor or dentist in years. Like I set it up online. Like St. Luke's, I go to set up my appointment on the website and it automatically sets an appointment for a year. So my next yearly is November something. My next gyno checkup and STD test and.
Now they know to find you at St. Luke's in November. Mm-hmm. So now they know to find you at St.
Luke's.
St. Luke's
is a whole network.
A whole network only in New Jersey.
And Lehigh Valley. Remember we just drove past all of them yesterday.
Yeah, I know.
They're all over the place. They don't know who my
all over the place in Pennsylvania and Lehigh Valley.
I'm getting a new doctor anyway because we got to get our own insurance. And we got to talk about that soon once you turn 26 because, you know, you got this month you turn 26. My little baby younger than me by a month and a half. But we got to get a joint plan for our insurance. But no, we don't. Yeah, just get your checkups, people. It's not that hard. Just go get your tests.